Thank you and good afternoon. This is Sam Vaughn for Sam Sports Report. The Texans have played well in their last two games, beating the Jaguars, who are 7-4, and beat the Chiefs and the Chargers easily last week. The Texans won over the Jaguars about 2 weeks ago. Last week, the Titans went into overtime against a bad Titans team. The Texans did go to overtime, and C.J. Stroud had a concussion and is still out tonight. So it will be Davis Mills again. Here is the game preview. Without Stroud, I see the Texans losing 24-16. Now, if they blow them out, I see the Bills blowing them out. The one thing I worry about is the Bills are on the road at 7-15. The Bills are currently a 5.5-point favorite tonight. Kick is again at 7:15, not 7:20, if I said that wrong. In the top 25, last night Arizona played Connecticut. Led 11-point lead at one time. Connecticut got back in the game. In fact, they took a lead of 64-62. Arizona would make a jumper and a layup and some free throws to win 71-67. Arizona beats number 3 Connecticut. At home was Connecticut. Alabama gives Illinois their first road loss on the United Center as LeBron Philippine scores 24. And Alabama beats Illinois 90-86. Alabama is now 4-1, and so is the Illini. Alabama will have a good one on Monday against Gonzaga. And Illinois will play LIU on Saturday, November 20th, and Texas Rio Grand Valley. So Illinois should get back in the win column the next two games in basketball. Mizzou has played some really good games and are 5-0, but has struggled against Southeast Missouri and Minnesota, but winning both. We'll see what Missouri is. Probably not for a little while, though, as they will play December 7th against Kansas. That will be their biggest test. South Dakota and Mizzou. South Dakota is 3-2. Mizzou is 5-0. Tip is set for 8 o'clock tonight. Notre Dame wins just by 7 against Bellarmine. What does this mean? You hope to win by more than 7 when you're leading by 22. Well, it worked for Notre Dame. Notre Dame built momentum with a 25-5 run in the game in favor. Efficiency, good shooting, early capitalized with Burlingham's sloppy rebounding edge and second chance points. What went wrong? Letting Burlingame climb back within, and even with a 22-point lead. Nights that indicate some relapse and focus and down the stretch. Free throws percentages wasn't overwhelming, especially from distance, as they only shot 36. Kansas State record 4-0 will host Mississippi State, who is 3-1. Cal gave them their best shot as Cal exploded back in the second half. 99-96, though, the Cats came out with the win. Mississippi State lost to Iowa State, a very good team, at 16th. Mississippi State is a solid team and on the rise. Some limitations on the program. Here is a breakdown of the Kansas State and Mississippi State game. Kansas State is decent right now, a solid program, some upside. That's the report on the Kansas State Wildcats. Kansas State is led by P.J. Haggerty and support from Nate Johnson and Abia Bashir. Strength, good guard play, and scoring depth. Key will be hitting threes for the Cats. Mississippi State is led by Josh Herbert, a physical and defensive style under Chris Jan. Strengths, rebounding, and key places and slow Kansas State guards down. Kansas State wants to run fast and drive the game. and driven game. MSU wants to play physical defense on the board. Kansas State gets a slight edge because of the scoring depth. Tonight, tip is at 8:30. That's according to ChatGPT. Kansas lost to Duke. We covered that yesterday. Here is that link. The other opponents that are playing in the top 25 game are not 25. They're not top 25 opponents, so we won't preview those games. Now we move on to mental health. What is it like to have schizoaffective? I would say somebody who struggles with voices sometimes is not knowing reality, and they believe something that is not reality. And I believe that the person is generally a good person, and give them a fair chance and know if they need help and have good communication, and especially when you are with family with them. Also, something to make sure of is that they take their meds. Now here's the video. This is Sam Vaughn for Sam Sports Report and Sam's Mental Health.
Schizoaffective disorder is a chronic mental health condition characterized by symptoms of schizophrenia, like hallucinations or delusions, and symptoms of mood disorder, such as mania and depression. Schizoaffective disorder is actually made up of two different disorders. Schizo refers to the psychotic symptoms of schizophrenia, which can affect the way a person thinks, acts, and expresses their emotions. This can also affect how someone perceives reality and interacts with others. Affective refers to the mood disorders or severe changes in mood, energy, and behavior. It is important to have a solid understanding of the causes and symptoms to begin managing symptoms early on. While this disorder does not have a cure, finding treatment can significantly help individuals manage their symptoms and improve their overall quality of life. Let's begin our conversation by highlighting important causes and risk factors related to schizoaffective disorder. When it comes to schizoaffective disorder, research has shown it to be more common in women as it presents high heritability. There have also been studies that suggest that people with schizophrenia have shown there are small differences in the structure of their brains. However, these changes are not seen in all individuals with schizophrenia and can occur in people not diagnosed with a mental illness. What they do suggest is that schizophrenia may partially be a disorder of the brain. The neurotransmitters in our brain can also play a role in someone developing this disorder. Neurotransmitters are chemicals that carry messages between brain cells. It is believed that there is a connection between neurotransmitters and symptoms of schizophrenia. These chemicals help nerve cells in the brain communicate with each other. An imbalance of these chemicals can throw off the connections, which can lead to symptoms. Los desórdenes esquizofrénicos pueden ser hereditarios. This means parents can pass down the tendency to develop the disorder to their children. Risk factors of schizoaffective disorder can be environmental as well. A few examples of environmental triggers include stressful situations, emotional trauma, as well as viral infections. These factors can trigger the disorder in individuals with an inherently higher risk. Lastly, a major cause of schizoaffective disorder is substance use disorder. Substance use disorder and addiction can make intense emotions more difficult to cope with. Individuals with schizoaffective disorder are more sensitive to the effects of drugs or alcohol, which often results in negative consequences. Schizoaffective disorder is known to manifest as symptoms of schizophrenia. So what are the common symptoms of schizophrenia to look out for? Delusions are the most common symptoms of schizophrenia. These involve having false, fixed beliefs despite evidence to the contrary. Hallucinations, much like delusions, are felt by the individual but are not present in real life. However, instead of beliefs, hallucinations involve hearing voices and seeing things that are not actually there. Those with schizophrenia may also exhibit bizarre or unusual behaviors and have impaired communications and speech. You may notice the individual show signs of depression, like feeling down or worthless, and they may even experience problems managing their personal care, like keeping the house clean or keeping up with personal hygiene. Oftentimes, schizoaffective disorder can be challenging to diagnose as it includes symptoms of both schizophrenia and mood disorders, such as bipolar.